YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Crypto J coming at you with another J Talks Crypto. We're gonna talk about it today. We got so much going on to give you guys some time to pile on in. All your favorite coins will get talked about today. So don't worry, we're not leaving anybody out, as well as I'll even take some suggestions over what you guys want me to talk about. Let me know. But again, I'm a little bit of time market, right? Tell me how you feel about your emotions. But I'm gonna share this over on X just to let people know we are live on YouTube. Awesome. How's you guys' night last night? What a crazy night, right? First we have war, have peace. Now people nominating Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. Totally crazy. What's up, Richie? Welcome to the stream, brother. Just waiting for more people to pile on in here, and then we're gonna get it started. Feel free to ask any questions, just us hanging out right now. But we are going to get this thing started pretty soon, right? Market looking pretty volatile today, but it's up. We up like almost 5%. Coming at a key zone right now. This 105. Interesting. Can we reclaim 106? I don't know. Some people thinking that that was a legitimate peace deal. Some people thinking that was not a legitimate peace deal. Some people thinking that this is just crazy, which I think this is just, honestly, I just think this is crazy because I think that altcoin season is going to be a few months down the road. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about altcoin season, but I just want to kind of talk about just kind of what's going on, step back and think about how everything has kind of unfolded. Even the way that we've gotten updates on things that have unfolded, it's just been very manipulated, like ridiculously. I don't think we've ever had a presidential term that has been this openly manipulated over the price of stocks and Bitcoin and things like that. It's completely insane. Like, if you think even back on prior conflicts that we've never had this announcement for people to leave an area. Like, they'll make an announcement like, oh, leave this area because we're going to do something over here. Like, when in a war has anybody ever done that? That's straight fear mongering. That's straight market manipulation. These guys are saying, oh, we're going to strike this time on this time. You need to all leave this area. Nobody's doing that. Where are they doing that in Ukraine? Did we do that in Afghanistan? Did we do that any other war where we're giving people a heads up and dropping flyers and telling people to leave areas? In my opinion, this is total market manipulation. It's a circus. It's a show. Like, you're telling them like, oh, this person did this to this person, so we did this, and then the United States comes in, and then we're going to do this. And then now it's like, oh, we have a ceasefire, but then, oh, this person did this, but then we condemn that. So then the market is sitting like, okay, well, what the heck is going on? Like, are we going up? Are we going down? Was that a ceasefire? Was it not? Right? And it just seems like the people that are getting liquidated through all this madness are retail. Retail doesn't know what the heck's going on. We see all these big institutions, we're monitoring transactions and stuff like that. These governments are buying Bitcoin, and that's what I told you guys. And what I've been telling you guys is that, yeah, there's going to be some volatility, but just know that in this zone, there's a lot of people that are accumulating, a lot of people with a lot of money. And again, in my opinion, these are the people that are moving the price right now. You could see who it is. Even China, every time the United States does something, China got to chime in, or Russia got to chime in, or Iran does this, and so they have to tweet out what Russia said. I think Twitter is totally nuts. I feel like it should be something needs to be done because the market is too manipulated because of Twitter and because of fake news and because of just all this madness that's going on. I mean, we've always had a manipulated market. We've always had media and stuff like that, but it's just too much false flags, too much fake news. Even Gronk, I don't even know how much I can trust that thing to like give me the truth when it's correcting people. It's like people just rely on AI. They just rely on other people's things that they say, and it's just totally a mess. But in my opinion, these guys are just playing the game that they've always played, right? This zone right here, I was saying it too. This presidency looks exactly like Trump's last pregnancy. presidency. Looks like Trump's last presidency, right? Just looks similar, like this steady trend up, and then we have a blow off top later on. I can't believe people are nominating this guy for a for what's it called, a Nobel Peace Prize. Like what? It's totally crazy. Like if you really think about all the things that have happened just since November, Pakistan and India, Israel, Iran, these are countries that have been hating each other for like hundreds of years. Israel and Iran, thousands of years, right? And then you get this president who comes along and he's like, okay, guys, we're gonna this is what I feel like happened, right? They all got together and they're like, okay, guys, we gotta make some money right now off of Trump being president. This is the last time he's gonna be president. So we're gonna all work together. We'll jack around the market a little bit. And then when the time is right, everybody will look good, right? Doesn't everybody look good right now, kind of, in this situation, which is kind of like, what the heck? Like, the only thing that happened is just a whole bunch of people lost lives. But now, like, Trump's going to get a Nobel Peace Prize, the Iran president, everybody's celebrating in the streets, and Iran won. And then you got Israel, who is still doing whatever they want in Gaza. It's just a mess. It's a total mess. And it kind of makes you wonder, like, is this just a giant circus? Is this just a giant game? Right? Every time we get anywhere on Bitcoin, we're dumping down, or the price is being affected by global news and stuff like that. And to me, I just feel like this is so criminal, bro. The way that our market has been moving, the way that it's been manipulated, for people that have been paying attention and who have been doing this for a long time, you could see, you know what this is. You know what this is on this 1 month chart. Like, this market this is not healthy. This is manipulated, in my opinion. A lot of um like stuff like this, right? We're creating this rising wedge, we drop down and then we pump up. Similar type deal. I mean, we did have some support down here in 98, but just these erratic price movements. It's kind of like, what the heck is going on, right? Now again, we're sitting at a key zone of resistance, this 105.5. We were at 106 the other day, but again, now we're down at 105. Can we continue to break up, or again, is this going to break down? It's kind of all dependent on, is this a real ceasefire or not, right? By the way, Israel has broken over 900 ceasefire agreements, so I don't think that this is going to be a legitimate ceasefire. I just want to throw that out there right now. Again, I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know what's gonna happen. Somebody says it's the worst bull run ever. I have no idea, man. I do not think that the cycle's over. I've been saying that I don't think that the cycle's over, but I do think that these guys are going to do anything in their power that they can do to get this thing as low as possible. So, that being said, I do think that probably that ceasefire, I don't, because here's the thing, right? Usually interest rate goes down, then the market will start to climb, right? We lower the interest rate to stimulate more loans, so more people are doing more business and stuff like that. And then once that happens, then usually our markets will respond positively. Sometimes we'll need something like a stimulus check. This is what we were kind of talking about, something to stimulate the market, get people doing stuff. Right now, there's just a lot of stagnation, a lot of fear in the market, right? So, what I was hoping for really was a rate cut, which I guess we'll find out about over the next couple of days, in terms of like, are we going to have any kind of a rate cut happening soon? And then the other thing that I was paying attention to is, are we going to get a stimulus check, right? And that would probably come after the rate cut. Will we get a stimulus check? Something to put some money in people's pockets, because things are so expensive right now, right? Some people can barely even afford to drive their car right now, and the gas prices might go up. I do still think that gas and oil price will go up, even though Trump said, do not increase the gas price. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is all just a big setup, a big ploy for these guys to, again, be accumulating more. We know who the biggest countries are that are owning Bitcoin, and we know that a lot of these countries are known to manipulate Bitcoin, especially countries like China, right? How many times has China and India made Bitcoin illegal? It's kind of ridiculous, right? And then they're also like one of the top holders of Bitcoin. So how does that work, right? But at the same time, again, these guys will lift the gate and let the people in as soon as they have accumulated as much as they want to accumulate before they do that, in my opinion. That's just kind of how they play this game. The whales play by kind of by different rules. They set the rules, right? We're just trying to make a dollar in this. So just always paying attention to the trends, but again, also paying attention to the news because it's totally crazy. Somebody said, "Told you to hodl. Toshi is a beautiful play." I like Toshi too. I've been saying the same thing. I've been saying, I'm long on this cycle. I feel good about this cycle. We have not fully broken down yet. We had support at 100K. We bounced right off of 100K, by the way. So that could be a positive sign right there. Again, maybe we don't need to break that neckline. Maybe we can see some positive price action. You guys could see Toshi coming in at 192 million at the time of the video and creating a nice uptrend on the 1 year. I mean, up almost 90% on the year, right? We're steady climbing over here on Toshi. So that's positive. That is what you want to see. Some people thinking that maybe we can have this altcoin cycle, right? What do you guys think? You guys think that this price is being manipulated? You think it's just a big Roman circus, right? Are we just being distracted by every little thing? And in reality, there's a lot going on behind the scenes in terms of these people taking advantage of cheaper prices. I think so. I mean, we've been monitoring and talking about a lot of these big transactions that have been coming in, right? How many times has Michael Saylor bought this dip? How many times have Kathy Wood bought the dip, right? How about BlackRock or MicroStrategies, right? How many times have they been buying the dip and public about it and open about it, right? Even our president, even us, our entire country has been buying this dip, right? So again, I do not think that we've reached the top. Again, we are at a key moment right now. Today is Tuesday. We do normally see fake outs happen early in the week. So that's another reason which leads me to believe that possibly this can be another fake out. This could be another situation where again, they're not going to honor the peace deal. They're not going to want to do that. But at the same time, look at this 1 month chart. We had a nice bull flag, right? This is showing that we might see a break up, which again, if we could see a good solid 106 close today, then who knows? I mean, we could be really up at 110 by Thursday, right? All things considered, if we do have a breakout, we could have a pretty decent sized gap above 105, which we can close tomorrow. And then again, be right back at 110 by Thursday, especially, if people thinking, oh, it's time for peace. It's time for the market to pump. The market was just being manipulated a little bit. Somebody says big news coming on Toshi, July 16th. Nice. Somebody says it's the worst bull run ever. I don't think it's the worst bull run ever. I would think that if this was the top, this would be the most anticlimactic bull rally I've ever been a part of. And I've been covering this thing on YouTube alone since 3000. And again, now we're at 105. But you guys can see we haven't had a blow off top yet. That's why I'm saying like this would be the worst bull run ever. This would be the most anticlimactic bull run. We had no blow off top. Every single cycle ends in a big parabolic blow off top and then has a sharp correction, right? We just have not seen that break down yet, and we really haven't seen a blow off top either. It looks exactly like Trump's last presidency. So been saying that. I hate to beat a dead horse on that, but I'm always paying attention to these logarithmic charts. I pay attention to long-term indicators when it comes to Bitcoin, especially in times like right now where we don't really know what's going to happen. Some people saying that Bitcoin is trading at 105, reclaiming key resistance level, bouncing from 99K support range. Somebody says a long setup would be 104 to 105.6, which is pretty much where we're at right now, with targets being 106.8, 106.82 and 110, which is kind of what we said, right? If we could break up above 106, maybe we can see that 110 happen again. They said that they set their stop loss to 103. Yeah, because if we drop down to 103, actually, we probably will see a retest of that 100K, 101, 100K range. So I could kind of see where he's coming out with that. I don't know. if this is a short or this is a long opportunity, right? I always say the trend is your friend, right? I always say that I don't make really market moves on a day like today because today's Tuesday and yesterday was Monday. Um, but I want to know, are they setting us up right now? Is this a perfect setup for these guys to dump the price in early in the week fake out? Or again, is this a bull flag that's forming on our monthly chart? Are we about to start sending? Is this thing about to start printing? Are we about to see 106 Bitcoin probably literally in a pattern like this within the next hour to 2 hours? I would say that this chart is probably more than likely going to see a break. As you guys can see, we're forming a little bit of a flag here, right? This could be a possible bull flag. We could also reject off of this zone too and create a wedge, right? If we create a wedge, we're going to see a retest of this 100K. And really, I feel like the real price movement is going to really happen on Thursday. I always say that real price movement happens on Thursday because our markets close on Friday. And then we see usually sell off happen into the weekend, right? So either we're going to have to start breaking up above some of this resistance and we're going to start having to create some more positive looking patterns here, or again, we're going to probably more than likely see a retest of a 100K and probably lower, right? I'm not saying that we have got a confirmed breakout. Yesterday, I was saying 104.5, right? I was saying 104.5 would show me a confirmed breakout, and then we would be back in the discussion of are we going to see a new high forming soon? Look at this thing, man. The 1 hour not looking too bad on Bitcoin, man. Looking like it wants to stretch. What the heck? What the heck, Bitcoin? Always unpredictable. Always unpredictable. This is what I always tell you guys. This is why I'd never over leverage in the market. This is why I tell you guys don't put too much money in the market to the point where you're going to be emotional, because this game will make you extremely emotional. You're not going to know what the heck is going to be happening a lot of the time. And there's going to be a lot of fear, right? Which, by the way, I want to know, have we seen enough fear? That was one thing that I was very concerned about, was our fear greed index. And did we see enough fear, right? I don't know that that's the case. Like, if you look at some of these charts, we were literally only in the orange for half of a second, right? We've seen multiple drop downs when we get into the green and then have to retest that orange. We see how our trend could kind of get weaker once that starts happening. And again, that's kind of started to happen. We still have not broken, we still have not reversed trend. So, in my opinion, we're still in a downtrend right now until we get some kind of confirmation. I feel like the markets are still speculative. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, yesterday they announced a ceasefire. Today we got a bull flag forming, but literally over the next couple hours, this could turn out to be a fake ceasefire. We could still be in a downtrend. We could see some more fear happening in the market, or maybe some headline or something like that that comes out. It's totally crazy. I wouldn't be surprised at all. In a market like this, they've been doing this to us, bro. But again, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section. It does look like this is getting some pretty decent volume and possibly going to be retesting pretty soon. I mean, if we can hold this this volume, we don't want to. What we don't want to see is a rejection here, right? If this one day starts trending down below this line right here, right? If this thing starts printing red, which probably going to start printing red if it can't stay above this line. See, the good thing about it is we got some support here now, right? We got support on the second Keltner channel. We broke it above it a couple times. You guys could see we tried to break above this Keltner channel here. We had a rejection. We also had a rejection here off of this top level. But right now, we're forming some support. We're gaining a little bit of traction. It is a Tuesday. Again, we're probably not going to see a big parabolic run on a Tuesday. If anything, we would probably see a sell-off happen on a Tuesday. Just being completely honest with you guys. But what I'm paying attention to here is really this 1 hour chart. And that's what I said. I said this trend will probably do something within the next hour to 2 hours. That's what I was just saying. And you guys can kind of see why each one of these candles represents 1 hour, right? So if this candle closes solid and then we open another candle and that candle closes solid, we could possibly break out of this resistance. Now, if this candle gets eaten up and the next candle prints, it starts printing red, then what are we going to have form here, right? A shoulder, head, shoulder, and this could be a bearish pattern. This could be a indicator that we do need to see a retest of that 103 range that guy was saying. Stop loss down at 103. The reason why he said stop loss down at 103 because ain't much support down at 103. So I would be putting a stop loss down at 103 probably as well myself in a trade like this. So we'll see what happens. Bitcoin, as always, is going to decide what it wants to do, right? And I caught up on the exit. Okay. Everybody got to promote another coin that's not Bitcoin. Why can't people just talk about Bitcoin on the side over here? Somebody said BTC is bouncing zone and heading towards the 110 resistance, right? Didn't we just talk about that? Possible retest of 110, right? If we can, we got to stay above 105.5. It's going to be tough. We got a lot of uncertainty in the market, right? We're waiting also on some good news, right? We got some good news of a ceasefire, but again, is that enough to push the market? Is that enough to push the market? I really don't know, right? Or do people just not trust this? It looks like the market's going to see another retest based off of the 1 month. It looks like, again, this retest is going to probably happen within the next hour, 2 hours. We're just a little bit early on it, in my opinion. We could always reject down off of this at any time, but the 1 month is looking like a bull flag right now. So because I always start macro and then I go in smaller on these charts, I would say that this chart is looking like it might see 106. Another retest on 106, possibly. Got to get above 105. Just too early to say. Hard to say. What do you guys think? You guys bullish on this price or are you bearish on it? I want to know. Let me know in the comment section. We're gonna talk about Satoshi too. We're gonna talk about all the coins, man. I know you guys want to talk about all these coins. We gotta talk about all of them. So let's actually go kind of just down the list a little bit here, and then again we'll move forward to Toshi. We already did Toshi a little bit, but we'll do some more. But you guys can see Ethereum seeing a good price bump off of this as well, coming up 6%, close to 7% on the day. Not bad. We were a little bit concerned about Ethereum. I was thinking possibly even an area that I was kind of looking at for Ethereum, but again, maybe Ethereum wants to make a recovery. Bitcoin wants to look good. Maybe Ethereum will also want to shine, right? You know that Ethereum is something that is needed. If you're bullish and things on the base chain, then Ethereum is something that is needed. Again, not financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to buy. Matter of fact, don't buy anything in this video. I don't think I said that yet, but don't. Okay, because I'm not a financial advisor. But as you guys can see too, XRP also up 8%, soaring today, up 8%. Coming in at 218. I was concerned that this thing was $2, but it never did. Through all that volatility, XRP never broke below $2, which is kind of bullish in my opinion. Also, Solana as well, up 7% on the day, coming in at 145 as people start to think maybe we can have some kind of an altcoin cycle happening sooner than later. The season is still on the way. Are we just a couple months away? Is it going to happen possibly in July? Is July going to be the month of peace, the month of the pump, right? We did talk about that actually. As a matter of fact, we talked about the fact that I thought that initially our market recovery would be happening in July, but then I did move it back to like maybe like August or something like that. I don't know. To me, I just feel like we needed to see a little bit more sell off on this greed chart and send us back into that orange. That's just me personally. We did see some of that sell off happen yesterday, right? We fell all the way down to like 98, and now we're sitting at 105. So I told you guys Bitcoin was going to be volatile. It's going to be volatile. It's still going to be volatile. We could still see a retest of some lows and Bitcoin still, looking like it can go either way. It's just the way our market's looking right now. A lot of people got a lot of hopium in the market, but a lot of people also feeling like this market is cooked. Is it cooked, or is there still some hope left? Is there still some time left in the cycle to make big gains? Has this just been all one big zone of accumulation? right? I've been saying that. I've been saying I'm looking for these coins at the cheapest prices because I don't think that we've reached the top yet. And I feel like this is all one big zone of accumulation. But again, how much time do we have to accumulate? How low can this price go? That is the question, right? Let's see if we can pull up some Toshi coin, since I know, again, you guys love the blue cat, right? Seems like Dex Screener is moving a little slow motion today. But Dex Tools ain't. Dex Tools is on it. I use a lot of different dexes too, by the way. Or a lot of different websites to look for coins. I like Dex Tools. I like Dex Screener. I like Bird Eye. I like GMGN. Um, I used to like Photon. Not really messing with Photon as much anymore. Um, because they owe me some money, guys. But yeah. Let's see if we can get this pulled up over here. Running a little bit slow. We'll just talk about it over here. So you guys can see Toshi Coin coming in at 192 million right now. At the time of the video, it is up a solid 7% today. People making some noise today for Toshi. Somebody saying I'm bullish on Toshi just a little while ago. Somebody else said Toshi jumps 15%. This was just 4 hours ago. Toshi jumps 15% in 24 hours. Right? Market cap is near 199. Interesting, with $30 million in volume, right? Interesting. Yeah, 24-hour volume, guys. Close to $30 million in 24-hour volume. In the past 24 hours, close to $30 million in volume. People saying that this coin is not going to make a comeback. It's dead. Well, there's a lot of people that are still trading it. So I don't know how the coin could be dead when there's $30 million that have been traded in the past 24 hours. Right? Somebody saying Toshi to the moon. Toshi top gators on Coinbase. Robinhood listing soon. I don't know, right? Maybe Robinhood will list Toshi coin. Robinhood has already listed a lot of coins. Some of the coins that they've listed, I've been pretty surprised about. Maybe they will create some kind of like little meme section on their app where people could buy things like Shiba and Toshi and all these meme coins. Maybe that can possibly on Robinhood because that is a noob app. That's like the worst trading platform, but people like it. It's really big and retail likes it because it has a lot of downloads on the App Store, I guess. But really not a big fan of Robinhood at all. Really, I don't trade on there at all. And when people ask me about it, I'm like, I mean, you can. I mean, that like they got like Webull and all those. It's not really trading platform, right? I don't think Robinhood is a real trading platform, to be honest with you guys. I know a lot of people people are like, what? I don't think that that's a real trading platform. I can't trade futures on there. I'm not really able to do a lot of stuff on there. I could just kind of buy some things, and then sometimes they even make it so I can't. Like, remember that they made it so you couldn't sell your stuff, or you couldn't buy. There was one coin that they like paused transactions on, or something like that. I want to say it was SHIB or Doge or something like that, and they like made it so you couldn't do anything with your coins, and I just felt like way too centralized for me. I don't like that. You cannot pause transactions. What the, right? This is exactly what keep it on the exchange because at any time they could do just that. Oh, you can't move your money off. We're going to pause all transactions that are going to go, which means you can't even move your money off the wallet. You can't move your money off the app at all. You can't buy, you can't sell, you can't do nothing. You're just stuck with your coins. And that is the whole point of DeFi is to have control of your own money. So again, when you're keeping your money centralized exchanges, just know that it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. A lot of people lose money keeping their money on exchanges. They lose keys, they lose all kinds of stuff. And it's just not a good idea because, again, these exchanges go down all the time, especially during times when Bitcoin is super volatile. Like when Bitcoin sees big drops and stuff like that, and when it's looking really volatile, sometimes these exchanges, they just go down like completely, like they're done, out of business down, like they're not coming back, right? They don't survive the dip. Not everything is going to survive the dip. Not every company is going to survive the dip. Not every exchange is going to survive the dip. Not every coin is going to survive the dip. So just plan on that, okay? Just plan on a Coinbase hack. Just plan on a Bybit hack, right? Plan on Binance getting compromised because all those things have already happened. MetaMask, everything, right? Things get compromised, right? that too. MetaMask been compromised. Phantom Wall's been compromised. Pretty much you name it, it's been compromised. So what do you do to stay safe, right? Do you just keep it on a little flash drive? Is that the best thing to do, Crypto J? You could. I personally don't keep a little flash drive because I'm the type of person that will lose a little flash drive, right? So I don't think that keeping my money on a flash drive will really help me. I keep my money kind of spread out over different wallets and stuff like that, and just all in different places. Just because, again, if I'm ever compromised, I don't want it to be the end of my trading career. I want to be able to still have skin in the game because I have other places where my money is being held, not all in one place. Never been a person to keep all of my stuff all on one anything. I just don't think I've just seen too much in this game to be having my money all in one place, even on a flash drive. Again, I've seen people lose seed phrases to flash drives, have hundreds of thousands of dollars stuck on a flash drive. I've seen pretty much you name it. I've seen every mistake in cryptocurrency over being in this for so long. I've seen people send millions of dollars, like $2-3 million from a Bitcoin address to an Ethereum address. And you know, when that happens, guys, what happens? Your money's gone. It's not coming back. No reverse charge. You cannot call coin up. I actually meant to do this. You can't do that, right? It's all DeFi, decentralized finance. You're in charge. There is no technical support. I know some of you guys like to think Crypto J's technical support. I'm not technical support. I'm my own technical support. I will answer as many of your guys' questions as I possibly can. At the same time, we're all in charge of our own money when you're holding it in your wallet. So again, saying all that to say, just understand that, guys, that you're responsible. These exchanges, if they ever get compromised, they're not going to usually want to refund you. You know, usually it has to go through a lawsuit. It could take years, and it's a lot. So, and is that my whose fault is that? Is that Bitfinex's fault for selling me the cryptocurrency, taking my money off of the exchange after I bought it and putting it somewhere like a wallet where I can then have it and do whatever I want to it again? That was my fault. I shouldn't have kept my money on the exchange. I could sit up and blame Bitfinex and point the finger and this and that, but at the end of the day, again, I lost that money, and it's because it wasn't in my pocket. It was in their pocket. They were holding on to it for me, and they got compromised or went down. I want to say it had something to do with their KYC or something like that. Uh, KYC, just understand that there's a strong possibility if you're trading on a website, and I know a lot of you guys like those websites. Oh, no KYC, they'll let me get in right away. Okay, KYC is necessary in almost every single country. Again, you're not going to be able to call nobody. There's no technical support. Even Coinbase, they shut down their tech support. I'm surprised they even had a tech support for as long as they did. I cannot even imagine the type of people. I mean, I already pretty much know you're getting phone calls from people similar, like, oh, I sent this to the wrong address. I did this, did that. And all they're going to say to you every time is, oh, too bad. Oh, well, sorry about that. Can't get a refund. You can't reverse transactions that are done on the blockchain, right? The person could send it to, if you send me $3 million though, I don't know that I'm going to be like, oh no, this $3 million, it got to all go back right away. Even though actually, if you don't return that in that type of situation, then you can get a lot of trouble, because even I've seen that, actually. I've seen that even on the news where people have sent a lot of money to the wrong address and the guy doesn't want to return it. And then the guy ends up going to jail. In my opinion, that's crazy. That guy shouldn't go to jail. You sent the money to the wrong address. It's not his fault that he woke up and he had money in his wallet. That's your fault, right? So I don't know. To me, I feel like that guy in that situation, he should not be looked at or viewed as a criminal for having money fall into his wallet. That's just my point of view, though. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think in that type of situation, whose fault would that be? Would it be safe keeping things on Phantom so that can be compromised, right? And that's another thing. You know, make sure when you go on Uniswap that you spell the word right. Make sure when you go on Radium that you're, again, if you're 1-2 letters off, you could be connecting your wallet to a website, and that website can drain all of your funds. Also, a lot of you guys like getting involved in projects that are really sketchy that also ask for you to connect your wallet to their website. Don't do that, guys, especially for new projects. If they're asking you to connect your wallet to do anything, to use features on the website, anything like that, just understand you're giving them access to your wallet. You're making it so they could literally drain all your wallet. So again, every single time you're connecting your wallet to a website, make sure that it's a credible website. And don't, if you are sketchy about it, if you don't know about it, then create another wallet. You could create another wallet inside the Phantom wallet. All you got to do is just click the little plus thing. It'll a brand new wallet. You could fund it with maybe like $10, then connect it with that wallet, but don't connect your main wallet to a website that is foreign to you. That's not a good idea, right? If you create a second wallet and you connect it, you don't have to worry about your main wallet getting compromised. Time that you connect your wallet to a website, it actually tells that. So again, if you approve it for one wallet, you're not approving it for all wallets. I would recommend in that situation, again, do something like that. Um, Somebody says Robinhood is good for starting out and investing. I do agree that Robinhood is good for starting out investing. If you're somebody that all you plan on doing is buying cryptocurrency, you don't plan on swing trading, not into um, anything like that, you don't need extra indicators and stuff like that. Robinhood is a very basic app. It's very beginner friendly. It's really, in my opinion, a trader. To be honest with you, it's an app where you could buy stocks and where you could hold stocks, but it's not an app where I could go on there and like if I was scalping or if I was like day trading or if I was swing trading, I wouldn't get a lot of. I trade leverage and stuff like that, or if I'm gonna go swing trade off trade, I trade on. I like to trade on Kraken sometimes, just because that's where I started at, and I think Kraken has a really cool interface. I don't know, maybe it's the colors or just the setup. I don't know what it is about Kraken, but some of my best trades have been made on Kraken. So I don't know. I like Kraken when I am doing that kind of stuff. Personally, it's me. But again, you guys can use whatever you want. Some people trade on like Coinbase Pro and stuff like that to trade futures. I've never, so I can't really say. And then Binance, I was on Binance.com, but I have not been on Binance US ever since they made me move all my coins. I created an account, moved all my coins off of Binance.com to Binance US, which was very hard. By the way, I had a bunch of Tron that was locked on Binance.com for a long time. I had to figure out how to get that off the platform. And then I moved it all over to my Binance US account, but I haven't been trading actively on the Binance US account. Let me see, or comments or concerns. Do I think that altcoin season is going to be a few months down the road? I think that altcoin season could pick up at any moment, brother. I mean, again, we have these talks right now of a ceasefire, right? Maybe we just get a little more good news. Maybe we do lower that interest rate. If we get ceasefire plus a lower interest rate, that might be the perfect storm to send this market higher. As you guys could see, we did talk about the fact that we might see a retest of 106 today, and Bitcoin now coming in at 105.6, 105.7. This right here is going to be a key range. A lot of speculation as people wonder is what is going on today, or is this again just another day of market manipulation? That has kind of been the question. I don't know. What do you guys think, though? I want to know. Are we going to say, yikes, what does that mean? Right? Let's see. Also, asking me kind of where I think that we're at on some of our more long-term indicators. And these are the indicators that I use to track Bitcoin, to watch Bitcoin. Again, I've been telling you guys, I don't think that we're at the top. If this was the top, it would be a very anticlimactic top. It would be the worst cycle ever, in my opinion, right? You guys can see this doesn't look really what our top would look like. It would look like more like a blow off top, right? Now you guys can see when we go from red to orange, we went red to orange here, we went red to orange here. Again, this Trump's last keep saying pregnancy. Oh my God, presidency. You guys can see there is some turbulence once we get much more times than not led to a run up, right? Right here, you guys can see what orange to yellow, and then we did have a breakdown back into that green zone. But at the same time, we're not really way up here, right? Way down here right now, right? Similar to kind of how we are when we're down here and when we're down here. and we're down here. When we're around this line right here, we're going orange to yellow. It's just kind of been an indicator that, again, maybe the price can start picking up sooner or later, right? I want to look at this fear greed index as well, just as a chart. Market cap analysis possibly needs to see more sell-off, honestly, based off of this fear greed index. Same thing that the coin market cap was telling me. This is telling me that we might even see a sideways trend form again. Shoulder. This could be indicators are looking right. So that one's looking a little funky. This indicator right here, this beam chart, I like the way it looks. Good. I know it doesn't look super hot, right? Possible shoulder, head, shoulder here, but you guys can see again when we go red to orange, red to orange, red to orange. Sometimes we see that chop. We see that uncertainty happen, right? Right before a big parabolic run up, really at a spot in Bitcoin to where it could do exactly that. It could have a big run up if it does not decide that it wants to break down, right? Bitcoin can actually have a very significant run up if it could break above, right? But if it breaks back down, right? That if it drops down back to that like 103, really, if it drops below 104.5, you could expect to probably see a 103, 102, probably even 100K retest. Again, if Bitcoin could break above 110, maybe we could see 120 happen. How fast can that happen? I really don't know, right? You guys can see this is our RSI. It kind of RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. It tells us how strong our trend is, right? You guys can, every time kind of how we've reacted. This is again Trump's last presidency, right? How the market has kind of reacted to Trump's last presidency compared to this one, right? Same thing. We're in the red here. We go orange. And then look, now we're starting to see some consolidation right here. Maybe again, we see some upside similar to this. We create this bull flag here, right? Created a bull flag right here. And then we had this big run up. Maybe same thing here, right? Red, orange, bull flag, right? Maybe another run up. It's possible. Another indicator that I'm paying attention to. Just a lot of these things that are just telling me that again, it's just too early to say that we've like broken down, but it's also too early to say that we can't break down because Bitcoin really in limbo right now, right? Again, our Pi cycle chart also showing that we're kind of just riding on top of this 111-day moving average pretty nicely. We haven't broken down too far below it. I would expect possibly another bounce off of this and then maybe another retest of this, and that might mark the top if we can have a blow off top, have this thing break up. Maybe this could happen closer to Q4. Maybe this can happen 2026. Really hard to say, right? You guys get 23, and here we are in 2025 right now. It's been a solid 2 years, right? And as you guys can see here, cycle starts in 2015, and the cycle tops really, right? It's a 3-year cycle, and in here we got 2020, 2023, and now we're in 2025. It's been 2 years. Bitcoin was at 115. Bitcoin now at 105. We still haven't got a blow off top yet. Maybe we have a whole nother year left in this thing, possibly, right? It could be a whole lot of sideways price action, breakdowns, breakups, consolidation. But again, we haven't had a blow off top yet. So that's what I'm kind of paying attention to. I want to know what you guys think. And again, these are just my thoughts, right? This is just my thoughts on the market. I try to give you guys my points of view so that you guys can create your own point of view, right? Go out and people are saying, rely on your own stuff. This is just things that I'm paying attention to that are telling me that we haven't yet possibly found the top. But again, Trump's last presidency, this presidency, right? Same type of thing. Do we need to see a retest of this bottom range though? That is the question, right? Do we need to see a retest of that 350-day moving average? That's what that moving average would be down there. 300. What can possibly happen? Can we possibly break below that? I mean, a lot of these indicators are showing that we are in a time of accumulation, right? That this is kind of looking back when people have been accumulating, right? So I do think that there's a decent chance that, again, Bitcoin is going to look volatile in this range, but it might even break down a little bit. might need to see some sell-off again based off of that fear greed index, but our cycle is still intact. We have not fully broken down to the point where I would say that we are now in a bear market. I would say that we are in the midst of a correction, but we are not in a bear market yet. So again, we could that can all change, right? That can all change if Bitcoin does decide it wants to create a double top. It has created patterns in the past that mark the sign of a top, right? So if you guys look over here on our 1 year chart, um, if you look at our all-time chart, this double top here, right? Back here in 2021, massive sell-off, as a matter of fact. Bitcoin going all the way from 63K all the way down to 15, right? Isn't that what they all say? Why didn't I buy it? I thought it was going to 12. A lot of people, guys, were saying that this was going to go to 12 when it was at 15. And I was saying, I don't think that this is going to see a retest of 12. I think 15 is going to be the bottom for us. 15 ended up being the bottom. And how did I find that out, guys? Because, again, I was paying attention to the side. We were in also in a zone on our fear greed index as well that was indicating to me that we had a possible bottom. Now, is there any way to know for sure what the bottom will be? It's impossible. Is there any way to know what the top will be? It's impossible. Nobody can predict the market. We can only use indicators to give our best guess on what could possibly happen. That's all I do. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a homie. I've been pretty good at this for a while now, but at the same time, again, I don't have a crystal ball and I can always be wrong. So um, I just give you guys, again, my honest opinion. I give you guys the reasons why I came to that conclusion. But at the end of the day, you gotta, make your views on the sentiment of the market, because again, they can go either way, right? Some people are bearish in this market right now. Some people are bullish in this market right now. They're placing their bets. It's a lot of swinging right now. I feel like this is like an accumulation zone, but it's also like a swinger market. A lot of people swing trading, a lot of people day trading. I'm not a big fan of it. I've done it in the past. The reason why I don't like to do it, I always tell you guys, I believe time in the market beats timing the market. I don't think that you will perfectly. I don't think it's a good idea to be selling your cryptocurrency, trying to buy back in the bottom. I told you guys that too. I don't think any of those things are good strategies because, again, they're all things that, one, are known to be not good strategies. Two, they're all things that I've personally done in the past. I tried to also give you guys my personal experiences of dumb things and mistakes that I've made in the past so that you guys don't go out and make the same dumb mistakes, right? There's no point in us both learn from somebody else's mistake. And again, I've been doing this for a long time, guys. So the stuff that I'm telling you, it doesn't me making mistakes. It comes from watching other people make mistakes. Every kind, pretty much. Every situation, every scenario, everything. People over leverage. I watch people lose. I've ever seen was about $5 million, and it happened in about less than 3 minutes. The guy had lost $5 million and then went totally radio silent. It's just a trade. It's not that deep. Win some, lose some. And that's the reality of it, right? You're gambling, right? You could be so positive. The guy was so positive. He put millions of dollars. He was betting on leverage. He lost $5 million in literally less than 3 minutes. I watched it. I watched him take the trade. I told him, don't take that trade. I said, that is not a good setup. I said, we're still in but we haven't had any confirmation of a breakout, and you're going to bet on this trend. I don't bet against the trend. I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of retracing. I'm going with it, right? But even right now, even looking at this price right now, I'm not yet ready to say that confirmation right now. And this is really what I was saying even earlier when people were tweeting and talking about, oh, ceasefire, da da da. They're so excited, talking about the market's going to rally. And I was saying, well, we haven't got confirmation yet, right? We need confirmation before we should start saying that the market's going to do something. The market even has a chance of doing something because, again, more times than not, the trend's going to be your friend. So there is a decent chance, again, that we don't break out of this range. I just want to clarify that too, that we're still in a downtrend, right? We have not got that confirmation. We're going to be volatile today. We don't know when a lower interest rate. That will be the cap. But yeah, jobs move the economy, right? People want to know we are making strides to become a greater nation, and that is what's going to make people want to invest in America. when people are investing in the market, sometimes we see that trickle down effect happen into cryptocurrency too. And that's what we want to see with the things that are things like the market not doing well and then us not increasing the interest rate. That's going to make the market not respond well. Also, things like war, uncertainty, um, things like trade issues and stuff like that. These are all things that are going to hurt us. Also, rise in oil prices and stuff like that. But at the same time, guys, you have to understand that these guys are going to mess with your emotions, right? They're going to throw you every curveball. They're going to throw you every fake. They're going to want to liquidate you. They want you out. They want you out. Just understand that they do not want you to make money in cryptocurrency. These big institutions, these banks, these governments, and stuff like that. Everybody was excited. Our market cap's going to go so high. Yay. Well, just understand, okay, the market that's at like $90 trillion. So what do you think they're going to come in and do to a crypto market that's at 3 trillion whenever you want? This market is it's really, they view it as PvP. They don't look at it as like, oh, we're on the side. They're looking at like, dude, I'm trying to make some money in the market. And these guys, right? These bear traps, these bull traps, they're setups, right? But we are looking pretty decent. I just want weekly right now with Bitcoin. This is looking pretty strong. Maybe again, we can see this thing want to stretch up and see that retest at some of these higher levels. That's really going to possibly be something that we will be talking about closer to Thursday. I think we might be talking about that 110 range. If not, right, if we can't get a good solid close on today, then we're going to be talking about some lower ranges, right? Again, the market is still undecided. This candle has still not closed. We have still not got confirmation either way. Destination, right? We could still break down off of this level. We could still see another retest here. Or again, we could flow within this Keltner channel right here. This could have been a possible double bottom. This could have marked our bottom on Bitcoin. This Bitcoin dropping down to like the 70, 78, right? Interesting. March 31st, Bitcoin dropped all the way down to 78K. Do you believe it? Do you retest of some lower levels? So that's what I want to know. They talk about, I think more of the conversation right now that should be had is, can Bitcoin retest of 106 as we start to trend sideways now, right? We don't want to trend sideways. We want to break up above this channel right here. I'm surprised if we see this, because this types of pumps is things that excite me later in the week. They don't excite me so much. They kind of make me a little bit, same thing that I said yesterday with the market pumping yesterday. It's just a little bit not really the best thing to see. I mean, it's good. It's good. Always good when we're seeing PTSD of just so many times with this thing breaking down early in the week. But again, the trend is your friend. I'm paying attention to these long-term indicators, and they're just showing me that, again, Bitcoin trending sideways here is not good. It's not good, right? You guys could see we had a here, and then now we're really just lacking volume, right? It just seems like people really undecided. It's not to say that we can't totally start turning this around again. This can't close positive. We're just on a 30-minute chart. And again, I'm not scalping this trade. I'm not swing, but I do think that more of the hourly chart is going to be very telling in this situation, and probably maybe something like the 3-hour or the 4-hour, right? 3 hours looking like a bull flag for me too. This is 3-hour charts looking pretty telling. 3-hour charts looking like it might want to see another retest again of 106, but it's going to have to take time to play out. And also the 4-hour chart too, looking like it needs to, might take some time. We'll see. We'll see what will happen. Again, some of this green starting to come in on the 4-hour chart, but some of these more micro charts showing that maybe we're cooling off a little bit in terms of volume. What do you guys think? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Let me know in the comments section. How long has this live been going on? About 54 minutes. Let me know also if you guys have any questions or any points that you guys want me to talk about. Somebody says you've been calling it for a while. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. He needs to stay over 2,400. I agree. He's just really holding on with the string right now, right? He needs to stay strong during the price action of ETH, and ETH has not been performing great on the year. As you guys can see, it's still down 26% this year. So ETH is definitely one that we'll be covering for sure on the channel. Of course, gotta cover ETH, but even on the 7-day chart, wedge right here, right? Are we going to start seeing a rejection of these zones and a retracement down on ETH? Again, like you said, ETH needs to stay above 2,400. I'm agreeing with you on that one, but yeah, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. We'll go live later on today in a few hours. So again, make sure you hit that notification bell